Greetings, gamers! Welcome to part 33 of my Let's Play Fire Emblem 9 Path of Radiance. In today's episode, I have much to do, including getting both Tormod and Devdan over here so that they can both help the units to the west. This is a bit of an issue that I did not take care of well, I think, is making sure that my backline had proper defense. I knew that there were going to be ranged units coming, and yet I still had nothing but basically one ranged Legus, which is one of their big problems. Oh my gosh, his stats are impressive, especially his resistance. He gets a plus, what is that, a plus 6 upon transformation? It's pretty good. Let me just go ahead and attack you. So I'm actually going to be retreating with Mordecai, Leave, and Morum, so that the rest of my units who actually need... Oh, I didn't mean to do that. That actually need the experience points can get the experience points. And another shove. Might as well do something, right? Ike didn't get much in terms of experience points this chapter, but if I wanted to, I could change that. And I kind of do want to change that. So, I'm going to do just that. Let's trade. You can break the Asbel, and then use the Legus Slayer. I'm going to heal you up with Mist, and then move her to the rear. That should be perfect. My turn completed, and this chapter about to be. Yeah, this is again bad management. I meant to smite Tormod, but I was a little bit too quick on that. Granted, only one of them blocked or attacked a Legus and blocked the way, so the rest of them have to attack the other two of my units. Legus Slayer. Nice. I would like some experience points. I'm not going to be focusing on leveling him up, but it is a very good idea to have him max level before chapter 27. Granted, that's 9 chapters away, so it's not that big of a rush, but you at least want to keep that in mind. Definitely want to keep that in mind. Very nice, Ike. Very nice. And this should have been a KO. Unfortunately, it probably wouldn't have been. Either way. Ooh, Adept. Proccing. And of course, he's using the beautiful, wonderful said tome. That tome is busted strong. So one thing I will say, I'm not opposed at all to using the Sonic Sword for my purposes of getting KOs pretty much anytime I want. I am not going to hold that back because the Sonic Sword is one of the items in this game that I almost always use a Hamern or 2 uses on it, which I do believe you get the Hamern staff very shortly here, which is nice. And of course, I can heal up Ike. Some more experience points for Mist. She's not really getting combat experience points right now, so might as well get all that I can. And you are still transformed. That's nice. Move you out of the way. 19 times 2. Getting struck. Okay, so you're finished. Devdan has the Steel Lance. Ooh, I'm actually not happy about that. because that's a routed chapter, and I wanted to get some more experience points with Tormod, but well. Crud, I lost. This was a plum chance for me to get a leg up in this world, too. Shinon. Ha, and I can't believe that the one who defeats me is Little Lord Ike. Looks like I've lost my edge. I'm ready, boy. Go on, finish what you started. Come back to the company. I don't think so. You've never liked me. As far back as I can remember, you have never liked me. That's right, still don't. You called me a weakling, said I was nothing without the help of my father. That's what you said, right? That's why you hated me. Sounds like me. Don't you get it? I just beat you, so your reasons don't hold water anymore, do they? Pah, it's enough you beat me. Now you gotta talk to me to death. I'll say it once more. Come back to the company. I acknowledge your abilities. As commander, I want you with us. Let's have another go-around. I win and I'm commander. Agreed? I win and you fall in line. Agreed? Don't worry, boy. I'll make it quick. Let's go. And Shinon is re-recruited. General, we've seized control of the surrounding area and the remaining Dayan troops are retreating. General? Oh, right. Understood. I beg your leave. General, huh? Weird. You know, you never looked relaxed. Nazir, what's going on? We haven't seen much of you lately. I've been a bit busy. In order to leave Begnion, I had to sell my ship and dismiss the crew. There was a lot to take care of. Is that so? Huh. It looks like you've been caught up in our struggle after all. Are you all right with that? I mean, I know you've got a lot of your own matters to handle. It's not like I've abandoned my own interest to join up with the Crimean army. For me, I've judged that there's value in traveling with you, so don't worry about it overly much. If you say so. You're a fairly knowledgeable fellow, so it's nice having you around. Ha, I think that's mutual. Now then, I've got some good news. What is it? Senior officials in Gallia are moving to action. Until now, they've been content to take a defensive stance and wait it out, but it appears this never-ending stalemate has exhausted their patience. Ike, this victory here today was a very important thing. It may prove to be a decisive first step in breaking Dayan's power. News of it will spread like wildfire over the entire continent and give countries confidence to speak out against Dayan. With Crimea as a rallying point, Gallia may be moved to join this war. You just need to keep winning. If you can do that, the road will open before you. History will be made. Could Dayan truly fall at our hands? Can I make that happen? Me? Use what you've been given, and great things will happen. You have it in you to lead, Ike. For now, it's merely one portion of the bird tribes, but your relationship is established. It's because you resolved to gain their trust, and then made it happen. It's all due to my father. If my actions prove to be the right ones, it will be due to the way my father raised me. If you treat others in good faith, they will follow you of their own volition. That's what he taught me. Also, while teaching me, I make fun of the people who are in leadership, when all the people in leadership I know, for the most part, are good folk. He was a magnificent man, wasn't he? When I was younger, I wanted nothing more than to be as strong as my father, and then I wanted to surpass him. Now, that is a goal I'll never achieve. What's that? The border's been breached? Everyone was defeated. Not only the Dayan troops, but our brigade as well. Cut down like wheat in a field. Ha! Well, that was impressively done. For a band of sellswords, that is. There's nothing else to do. Send a message to the Dayan command and tell them the enemy is stronger than expected. At once. Wait, hold a moment. Yes? Send a Dayan human instead. I don't care which one. Just don't use any of our troops. But a wingless human will take such a long time to... General Patrine commands the next front. She's a very temperamental woman. But go if you like. Tell her that the Kilvis Ravens have been defeated. She'll roast you like a chicken and use your bones for stock. Understood. I will find a human. Who's there? Soren, what are you doing here? What are you planning? Where did that come from? I've no idea what you're talking about. Don't play dumb with me. We're past that. Gallia's decision to join in this war was based on some new information they received, wasn't it? Cat got your tongue? Fine. I'll tell you what you've been doing here. You were to deliver Princess Crimea to Begnion to see if she could garner any support for her cause. And regardless of whether or not she got that assistance, to judge if she was worthy of Legu's support. Am I wrong? If you figured all of this out, why remain silent? Because your actions were beneficial to Princess Crimea. I determined that even if left to your own devices, you would not harm the princess. It sounds like you don't think that's the case anymore. You accomplished both missions, but you've come back anyway. To what end? I don't have to explain myself to you. That's true. Only until I reveal your purpose to Ike. Everyone has a secret or two that he wants to bury somewhere deep, including you, Soren. I don't know what you mean. Oh, I trust that we understand each other. The army rises early tomorrow. I suggest we turn in. The enemy knew we were coming today. And you think I'm responsible? Yes, I do. My oh my, you really are suspicious, aren't you? Good night, Soren. And time to save the game. Princess Alinzia's newly formed Crimean army, with Ike as its commander, marches to Tor Garen and claims its first victory. Tor Garen is a vast wall guarding Daeon's border, manned by battalions of well-trained soldiers. It was long thought impregnable. Yet the strength of the Crimean army under General Ike's leadership far outstrips Daeon's expectations, and Tor Garen falls. Learning of Gallia's increasing interest in the war, Ike wastes no time ordering his troops further into the heart of Daeon. The gears of history, which had come to a halt with the fall of Crimea, slowly creaked to life once more. Chapter 19, Entrusted. Daeon border.
Naysala, King Naysala of Kilvis, I would speak with you now.
Oh, if it isn't General Petrine, what brings you to these frosty mountain peaks?
I've no time for pleasantries. Is it true? Has Crimea's army breached Tor Garen?
Though I am loath to report it, this appears to be the case.
Bah! Kayachey, you worthless dog. Being defeated by that girl's motley band just proves how useless he was.
Surely it's not the general's fault alone. He was told that Crimea's army was weak and that Tor Garen was impregnable. And yet he was defeated. I'd say that someone severely underestimated our enemy. Wouldn't you?
What was that? Do you dare to insult Daeon, Crow? Men have forfeited their lives for less.
Insult Daeon? Never. Come now, General Petrine, I'm merely stating the facts. Regardless of the previous battle's outcome, Crimea's army will be stopped here. I will be taking the field myself.
Huh. Sounds like you've set the stage for a grand performance.
General Petrine, Kilvis will always stand at Daeon's side, as long as we receive our payment, of course.
If gold is all it takes, then may our friendship never end. See to it that your performance warrants such consideration. Homasa, come here.
Yes.
Work with King Kilvis and put a stop to Crimean's army. No screw-ups or else.
Leave it to me, General.
I will not suffer another failure, King Kilvis. You must finish them, and do so quickly. Are we clear? I am sick to death of being made a fool by that Crimean floozy and her pathetic band of sellswords.
And the remaining portion of my fee?
Don't worry, we have it ready. You'll get paid when the job is done.
As long as we're clear on that point, everything's settled. Well then, I'm off.
Dog's breath. Even by half-breed standards, those crows are complete scum. Give that one even the smallest opening and he'll steal the eyes from your skull. What an untrustworthy wretch.
Ike, I'd like to report the results of our last battle. 4 new units obtained. MVP was Tormod. That's kind of interesting. A little bit of gold. I did spend quite a bit. There were no deaths and no injuries beyond our capabilities to heal. Everyone performed exceedingly well. That is all. By your leave, I will excuse myself. Info time.
Bye, see you later. Yep, all mist. Watch your step, it's slippery. Whoa. Mist. Ow, I landed right on my butt. This snow's cold. Be careful. Alrighty. Hey, watch, Jill. I'm gonna make a snow angel. Whee! It must be nice to be so cheerful. Jill. Who's there?
It's me.
Captain Har? But this is an enemy camp.
I've been trying to track you down ever since you disappeared at Toha. I figured you were off chasing after the Crimeans. I never imagined that you would join up with them.
At first it was just circumstance, but now it's different. Now I'm with them because I want to be. Spending time with them and coming into contact with Legus has shown me what a fool I've been.
Legus? I never thought I would hear that word from someone who once said subhuman with such absolute hatred. Sounds like you've had some good experiences with this happy little band.
I knew that if anyone would understand, it would be you, Captain.
So you're forming your own set of values for the first time. That's good. That's very, very good. But what are you planning to do now? If you keep moving forward, you're going to face General Shiharam before long.
Causing trouble for my father was never my intent. However, as a member of this army, I will face him with my shoulders straight and my head held high.
So you're determined to see this through?
I am.
So be it. Then there's nothing left to be said. Farewell. The next time we meet, it will be as enemies. Prepare yourself and get some rest. You know how important it is.
Ike, can I talk to you? A few minutes ago, a man I've never seen before showed up and spoke to Jill. I wasn't sure what was going on, so I went and found you. What should we do? Whatever they're talking about, it sure looks serious.
Jill trained in the Dayan army. Fighting against her countrymen will be tough, no matter how prepared she thinks she is.
I don't care what happens. You can't let her fight against her own father. All right, Ike?
It might not be a bad idea to keep her at the base camp, just while we're in Dayan. That is a hint. If you do have her fight with her father, you will lose Jill. She recruits back to being an enemy, and there's no way to re-recruit her. It's very cool that that's a thing. Some of that was translated over to Radiant Dawn with some of the characters in the opposing armies. Not to the same extent, because you control all of the opposing armies at some point. Well, not all, but a fair bit of them. And it's just an interesting thought, in my humble opinion, that this was a method used. Now, this is only true in Dayan. I don't typically use Jill in much of the Dayan chapters anyway, because she's not all that great against some of the units. There's a lot of magic, so on and so forth. But she's still good in these parts. Just be wary of not playing and using her on the chapter in which you do fight her father, Shiharam. Now, when you see Har again, you definitely want her. Patrine and Har, I should say, specifically, because both of them are in the same chapter. So the next time you see Patrine, you do want to field Jill, because of a certain recruitment that she can perform.
I'll take on any number of enemies, but this snow is another story. I think my beautiful wings are icing over.
That sounds like trouble. Are you going to be able to fly?
Yes, of course I can fly. These wings aren't for looks, you know. They're made of flesh and blood and feathers. It's not like I'm some animal that has to hibernate when winter rolls in. Sheesh, can't you Bjork tell the difference between comic exaggeration and serious conversation?
Oh, I was supposed to laugh, was I? Sorry about that.
Oh my, such sincerity. This is unexpected. It looks like someone taught you manners.
Oh, yeah. You sure did.
By the way, I've been meaning to ask, what are our chances for victory?
we're still at an extreme disadvantage.
What? That's not the answer I wanted. You gotta do better than that, Bjork General. I'm here. If we lose, how am I ever going to show my face to Infinitius again?
We're at a disadvantage, but I don't intend to lose. There's a man in Dan that I need to find, and I will be the last thing that he sees.
Well said. I wish you could repeat that to today's younger generation. There are some weaklings back home that I don't even want to call hawks. I'd love to stick them back in their eggs and start over from scratch.
Man, Januf, you and I could get along. Hey, you hatch from eggs? Eh?
I was speaking figuratively, you know, like a metaphor. We haven't hatched from eggs for many generations now. Silly Bjork. All right, I'm out of here. I gotta warm up the old wings before battle, or who knows what might happen.
I figured that egg thing was a joke, but I had no idea it ever really happened. Bird tribes. Go figure. Excuse me, do you have a moment?
Oh, General Ike, was it?
It's nothing really. I just thought I'd say hello.
That's considerate.
Your king is very generous, isn't he? And it's not just Rayson I'm talking about. He left us his 2 retainers as well.
How do we pertain to the king's generosity?
I guess it's because Rayson kept apologizing. I just thought that... Am I misinterpreting something?
I don't know, but I know that the king can survive without our help.
Is that true? That's pretty amazing. I've been given the title of Lord, but I still can't run this army on my own. Titania and Soren handle all the little details, and that's what keeps us from collapsing into chaos.
Our king does nothing special. Everyone just does what's needed. There is no chaos.
He's really trusted, isn't he?
That's natural. In Legu society, the strongest become king. Unlike the Bjork, kingship is not tied to blood, so we have no weak kings. I'm sorry, perhaps that was improper.
No, that was very proper. I actually kind of believe in this idea as well. Some people would say this is the idea of democracy and elected officials, but unfortunately, most people who vote nowadays don't have the brains to vote. It is the reason why America and other intelligent countries were never democracies. They were republics with severe restrictions on who could vote, as well as electoral colleges, to make sure that nobody was elected into office who shouldn't be elected into office, including those who are not allowed to be by the Constitution ourselves. So, granted, no, that's not what I like. I don't care for democracy. What I do care for is good, strong, biblically minded republics. No, I agree with you. Choosing a ruler by strength instead of birth makes much more sense.
When we face Begnion troops, we target the units with weak leadership and eliminate them first. Bjork weapons can be very powerful, but not everyone wields them well. Since Bjork also choose generals by bloodlines, their competency is uneven, and that is a weakness of Bjork armies. As for you, General Ike, the time to prove yourself is approaching.
It's true. No matter how strong the individuals are, the strength is worthless if they're weak as a unit. Tell that to the Black Knight. An army's power comes from leadership and management. That's good to remember. Thanks. Support? Titania and Mist can finally receive their A-rank support. Awesome. Come over here for a second, Mist.
What is it, Titania?
Here, it's a little present for me.
Hey, this is that dress I saw in town the other day. Ooh, I love this dress.
I thought so. Aren't you glad we made that trip together?
Oh, thank you, Titania.
It's nothing, Mist. Consider it a thank you for all you've done. To tell you the truth, I've been a little worried about you. You've been doing so many chores, and you've been helping us all on the battlefield. It's a lot to ask of you. That's why I'm trying to make sure you stop and take care of yourself. Treat yourself to something nice once in a while.
Titania.
Listen, Mist. I know you and Ike are close, but if there's ever anything you can't talk to him about, I want you to know you can come to me. I may not be Elena, but I do care about you just the same.
I will. Thank you. That's very nice of you, Titania.
Tee.
Oh, this dress is too good for me.
Probably is. Stefan and Mordecai can finally receive their very first support.
Stefan, here you are. Yeah. Do you still want to hear about Gallia? There are many things I can tell you.
I was wondering,
Do you like Gallia, Mordecai?
I do. Gallia is a good country. Strong, plentiful. Very good for me and for my friends.
It is, huh?
And do you like Begnion?
I detest it.
Detest? I do not know this word.
Then you're lucky. Sometimes being ignorant can be a blessing.
Ignorant? I have a difficult time with Bjork words. They are strange to me.
Okay. I do believe Tormod's other supporting partner is Rayson. I'm going to probably be giving Rayson and Tormod the A support, which seems like a very intelligent move. Yeah, definitely, because Rayson can only support with one. Shannon, he doesn't have anybody I can support with that's worth it, so yes.
Mighty Prince of the Huron clan.
Yes, I am Rayson. Who are you?
I'm Tormod. I was hoping to ask you something.
I apologize, you caught me off guard. What do you require?
That song of yours, does it work on everything?
You mean the chant?
Yes, whatever was that made that drab forest bloom with color.
You speak of the Goldr, the seed magic? What of it?
Would you please sing it for all of us?
All of you?
Yes, for my Legu's friends back in the Grand Desert.
So you're the leader of the Legu's Liberation Force, but you're not much older than a child.
Do you have a problem with that?
No problem at all. It's just, ever since I heard whispers of a Bjork fighting to free the Begnion slaves, I wonder what manner of man he was. You're different than I had envisioned.
So I'm young. So what? It doesn't make what I'm doing any less important. So, are you going to help us out or not?
I'll gladly lend a hand, whatever support I can give you. But what would you have me do?
I knew you'd come through. Let's see. Oh, wait.
What is it?
I'm not quite ready yet. The time isn't right. I'd like to talk to you about it more in detail. So please allow me to come back later when I have more time. See you later.
Bjork children are so restless. Yes, they can be. I totally forgot that Ike and Leith can support. Granted, I'm not going to be supporting them, but I would like Moram and Leith to finally get their support going, especially since I'm going to be using them temporarily both. Ike can no longer receive a support with Titania, which means that I don't have to worry about him accidentally getting an A rank with her when he has another very important unit to support with. I do have some managing to do, so I will be back in just a moment. And I am back with one more task to do, and that is to forge, finally, a throwing axe. Of course, it's going to be made as best as possible, within reason, because you could make this extremely expensive. I really just want the hit more than anything. I'm going to be calling it the Flamberge. And red is the color. And for Titania, for sure. So now she has a regular old hand axe, but then an awesome upgrade to that for whenever she needs an extra bit of kick, right? So everybody else is pretty well convoyed out, except for you. What this is going to do, though, however, for the rest of my time, I have a little bit to do for this next chapter. What's so cool is that I get something very incredible in this Dayan border skirmish. Something very incredible. I cannot wait until I obtain it. It requires the Hawks as well as Rayson to be recruited, however. Keep that in mind.
So, General, there look to be a lot of enemy soldiers ahead, mostly Dayan, but there are some crows from Kilvis as well.
More than our last fight?
Yeah, there's a lot, but the most troubling thing is that King Kilvis is with them.
The Crow King himself is cooperating with Dayan?
Yep, and compared to the other crows, the king is in a class by himself.
Obviously, he's no match for our king, but anyway, you should move carefully.
An entire unit under the command of King Kilvis? I think that bodes ill for us. The outcome of the battle hinges on how we deal with them.
Kilvis soldiers, huh? As fellow bird tribe Legues, what can you tell us about them?
Please don't lump us together with those carrion birds.
We're not partial to crows. As you know, we are outmanned by the Dayan troops. Is there any way to get the ravens to withdraw? That would be a tremendous help.
Well, I suppose I could go meet with King Kilvis if I had to. I don't think that my speaking to him is going to make a difference, though.
If you like, we will try, but don't expect anything to come out of it.
No matter the circumstance, I will never again speak to a crow.
No matter what we decide, sitting here like this is giving the enemy more time to prepare. You're right. Come on, let's get moving.
Choose units. You have to be kind of very careful about this. I will bring these. No, definitely not you. I don't think there's anything worth stealing. Moram and Lee, they're going to have to take a seat. I'm going to bring Janoff. Reposition. Yeah, I want to say there's only, like, silly things to steal, like, for instance, this elixir. There is a way... Ah, no, you can't. I forgot. I keep forgetting this. I think I mentioned this last time I played this game, is that there's a potential way to steal the Sonic Sword. That's not true, because you cannot possibly have a thief with more speed than Homasa, and they did this on purpose, which I don't like, because it would be nice to have another Sonic Sword. Doesn't look like to be anything worth stealing. Yeah, this is unfortunate. So you could actually steal this if it wasn't for the fact that... Oh man, that would actually be pretty cool. Yeah, so this is King Naesala. His stats are woefully overpowered for this point in this game, and he's going to be quite the difficult task to deal with normally. But there is a way to deal with him. There's actually several ways. I'm going to be going over that next episode. Let's continue setting my units up. I actually don't think I need Volk at all for this. So I'm going to be removing him from the party. The less units you can bring, the better for this chapter, particularly. I'm going to go ahead and save. And end this episode. I want to thank you for joining me. If you like my content, please upvote and follow, or like and subscribe, depending on your platform. And while you're at it, have a great and glorious day gaming.